my vlog. Today, I'm going to be talking about episode 17 of season 16 of Deadliest Catch. And in tonight's episode, the three boats that are going to be in this episode are the Cornelia Marie, Southern Wind, and the Lady Alaska. And this episode starts out with the Cornelia Marie, and they're hauling in their gear, and they're still on really hot numbers, and they're getting 400 plus Opelio crab per pot, and their pots are like 3/4 full of Opelio crab. Then it goes to the Southern Wind, and the Southern Wind is up by the US-Russian border, and between 250 and 270 Opelio crab per pot, which is pretty good. But Harley's like, I want better crab. I want crab numbers that are in the 300 plus to 600 Opelio crab. So he tells the crew, we're stacking our gear. Let's move to some better grounds. So the crew is not happy while they're stacking. They're like, why would we move a 250 Opelio crab average? And it would be stick and stay and make it pay. Just to fill their 350,000 pounds of Opelio crab, they'd have to go through 1,000 pots at 250 plus Opelio crab per pot. Mark faster, they need to be on 350 Opelio crab per pot. So they stack and they're moving. Then it goes to the Lady Alaska, and the Lady Alaska is, they stack their gear and they're moving to some new grounds, and they're gonna set it in an area called the Turtle Head or something along with a turtle. He looked back in his log from past seasons, and the last time he fished there was in 2012, and he was getting an average of 500 Opelio crab per pot, which is killer. So he decides to go set his gear there, and while he's setting his gear, the power flips out on him and switches to the backup generator, and they have to figure that out. And then they get that figured out. They have 4 hydraulic motors to run all of their hydraulic pot block, the launcher, the crane, all of that. They are only down to 1. So they can set all of their pots, but they can't haul them or anything other than set them. So Scott calls another crab boat, and he asks them if they have any spare hydraulic motors. They're like, yeah, we got some extras. So they'll meet up and they'll go and in the middle of the sea and they'll get it loaded. Then it goes to the Cornelia Marie, and the Cornelia Marie is still hauling in their gear, and all of a sudden they lose pressure port side main engine. So Casey goes down to the engine room, and he thinks it's something with the fuel pump. So what he does is he switches out a pressure gauge and he gets it fixed, and it's working again. And they go back to hauling in their gear, and they're still doing really good. And they go back to fishing, and all of a sudden they get a pot buoy line stuck in their propellers. Feels a vibration in the back. He's pulling the pot line with him and starts reversing, and it gets better, and then he goes forward again, and the port main engine starts acting up again. So that's it. I'm not putting the crew or this boat at risk. The Cornelia Marie has a port side main engine and a starboard main engine. They're only running on one engine, and if something goes wrong and they lose the second one, they'll be adrift and they'll have to get towed in by the Coast Guard or by another crab boat so they can get both engines fixed. But they don't have to do that. Then it goes to the Southern Wind, and the Southern Wind is setting on their new grounds where Harley has fished many times and have done really good. So they're setting their gear, and then it goes to the Lady Alaska, and the Lady Alaska meets up with the other crab boat, and they've got the hydraulic motors in a big waterproof tote for the motors. So they hook it up to the crane and the Lady Alaska on the same course, and they have to use the crane to bring the 3 hydraulic motors over to the Lady Alaska. So they're doing that, and it's kind of a struggle because the boat, they're doing this in building seas, and it's pretty dangerous. Crew on the Lady Alaska, they're standing back so they won't get hit or seriously hurt from the hydraulic motors, and they finally get it on the deck and it's on the sorting table, and then the crew, they thank the other boat for the motors, and they get in and take out the old motors and replace them with the new ones and get it running and make sure everything's going good, and it's going. Then it goes to the Cornelia Marie, and it shows the Cornelia Marie in St. Paul, and they're getting the fuel pump fixed and making sure it's all good. And this fuel pump costs like 20 grand for a brand new one. They are fixing it, and then it's all good, and they start it up and get fuel pressure, and they head back out to the fishing grounds. And then it goes to the Southern Wind, and the Southern Wind is hauling in their gear, and they're getting an average of 350 Opelio crapper pot, which is kind of what Harley wanted. It's a little lower than he was hoping for, but it's still really good. They'll get out of there quick. And while they're hauling in their gear, Danny, the deck boss on the Southern Wind, he's hauling in a pot on the coiler, and all of a sudden the line snaps out and smacks him right in the face. He goes in for Harley to check him to see if he has a concussion, and he's bleeding on his forehead where the pot rope smacked him. And Harley's like, oh yeah, you're showing signs of concussion. So he has Danny inside using a bag of peas on his forehead to help with swelling and make it feel better. And the crew goes out there and short a guy, but he'll get back to fishing. Then it goes to the Cornelia Marie, and the Cornelia Marie they get back out to the grounds, and they're wondering if they're still on good numbers, and they are. They're getting 400 plus Opelio crab pot. They're doing real good. That is how the end of episode 17 of season 16 of Deadliest Catch ends. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of this episode. Please share this video with your friends and family. And also, don't forget to hit the bell icon down below so you can be notified when I upload videos. Also, subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you guys for watching, and if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.